Let me ask you something. Have you ever stayed quiet because you were too shy to speak? Have you ever wanted to say something but fear held your tongue? And later, you wished you'd been braver? What if I told you there's a way to break free from that fear? Not next year, not someday, but in just 3 days. Welcome to Life Story Echoes, where every story helps you grow, learn, and unlock your true potential. Today's story will show you how one small decision can end a lifetime of shyness. So sit back, listen closely, and maybe, just maybe, your story will begin today. In a small village surrounded by green hills and quiet fields, there lived a boy named Aaron. He was smart, kind, and full of ideas, but no one knew it, because Aaron never spoke. At school, when the teacher asked questions, Aaron would look down. When classmates laughed and played, he stood alone. He wanted to talk, he wanted to join, but something always held him back. Fear. Fear of being laughed at. Fear of saying the wrong thing. Fear of not being good enough. So he stayed silent every day, and inside, he felt smaller and smaller. One evening, as the sun was setting, Aaron sat quietly under a tree. His grandfather, an old wise man, sat beside him. "Why are you always so quiet, Aaron?" he asked. Aaron hesitated, then whispered, "I'm scared. I don't know what to say, and I think people will laugh if I speak." The old man smiled gently. "Do you want to stop feeling this way?" Aaron nodded. "Then listen carefully, and do what I say for just 3 days." He leaned in and whispered 3 simple steps. Aaron's eyes widened. It sounded too simple, but something inside him said, "Try." Day 1. The next morning, Aaron followed the first step. Speak 1 sentence to someone every hour. He walked up to a classmate and said, "Hi, nice pencil." The classmate smiled. No one laughed. Later, he told the teacher, "Thank you for the lesson." The teacher nodded warmly. Every hour, 1 sentence, not perfect, not fancy, just spoken. That night, Aaron smiled to himself. For the first time, he didn't feel invisible. In class, Aaron raised his hand. His voice trembled. "What does this word mean?" The room was silent for a moment. Then the teacher smiled and explained. Aaron looked around. No one laughed. Some students even looked impressed. By the end of the day, Aaron had asked 3 questions. His fear was shrinking. The final step: talk to your mirror like it is your best friend. That night, alone in his room, Aaron looked at himself. "Hello, Aaron. How was your day?" he said. His voice echoed in the room. It felt strange, but then it felt right. He smiled. He laughed at his own reflection. And then he said, "You're doing great. I'm proud of you." Something powerful happened in that moment. The fear, it broke, because Aaron had done what fear hates the most. He faced it. From that day forward, Aaron wasn't silent anymore. He wasn't the loudest, but he was free. He joined conversations, he shared his thoughts, he made friends. Not because he became fearless overnight, but because he practiced courage, just a little, every day. And now it's your turn. Are you ready to stop hiding your voice? Are you ready to speak, to ask, to grow? Then try it. For just 3 days, say 1 sentence every hour. Ask 1 question each day. Talk to your mirror like it's your best friend. You don't need perfect English, you just need to start. Speak slowly, speak bravely, speak anyway. Because the world is waiting to hear your voice, and so are you. If you found this story helpful, give it a like. Share it with someone who needs confidence, and subscribe to Life Story Echoes for more inspiring stories that help you learn and grow. Your voice matters, your story matters, and your journey starts now.